Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Lois here. If this is your first time stopping by, please feel free to subscribe. Today we are going to learn how to cut and sew this beautiful gown you're seeing on your screen. So if this is what you like to learn, let's dive into the video. So we have 3 yards of crepe fabric, our pin, our scissors, our chalk, our armhole curve, and our pattern master, and including our measurement that we have on our paper. So we have 3 yards of crepe fabric, so we folded it into two, and after folding it into two by the yardage, we pick one side of it as you can see me doing, and then arranged it and brought out the zipper allowance. So after folding the fabric into four and removing the zipper allowance, the next thing we did was to use her true waist circumference and added 4 inches to it and divided whatever we got by 3.14, and we got 14.58. So we placed our tape and marked 14.58 all round. After marking the 14.58, the next thing we are going to do is to measure the full length of the gown. So as you can see now, I'm marking 14.58 all round. So it was time for us to take the length of the flay, that is the full length minus the upper part, which gave us 27 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, which gave us total of 28 inches. So we had to place our tape at the circumference and mark 28 inches all round. So after marking that 28 inches, we are going to cut it out. So we are done cutting the flay. It is time for us now to use the remaining fabric that we have to cut the upper part. So to cut the upper part, we folded the fabric into two using the bust circumference, which happens to be the biggest circumference that we have. So after folding it, we used our tape to measure and we got about 14.58, which is more than enough for us to use for the upper part. Next, we took the half length of 17 plus 1 inch for the bust dart intake and then added 1 inch for seam allowance. So it was time for me to take the full back measurement of 7.5 plus 3/4 inches for the fixing of the sleeve, and I had to mark 8 1/4 total length for the chest line. So I marked it all the way down. After that, I had to mark what I marked at the upper part of the shoulder, which is total of 8 1/4, and use my ruler to connect a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to do is for me to place my tape, take my shoulder slant of 3/4, and then take my neck width of 3.5, and after that I'm going to take the neck depth of 4 inches, and then after marking the 4 inches, I'm going to use my armhole curve to connect the neck, and after connecting it, the next thing I'm going to do is to place my tape again and mark 6.5. That's 6.5. After marking it, I'm going to make a little V by using my ruler to slant it inwards and then mark it out. So next, I had to use my ruler to connect the neck width to the shoulder slant and then use my tape to check what was left. I divided it by 2 and marked the midpoint, and after that I went inwards by half an inch. Then I used my hand to connect it to the armhole. After that, the next thing I did was for me to take the bust circumference divide by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance, and then I placed my tape straight and took the length of 11 inches, which is the breast point 10.5 plus half an inch for the joining of the shoulder, and then I marked a straight line. So after marking the straight line all the way down, the next thing I am going to do is to mark 4 inches, that is the bust span. After marking the 4 inch, I will go to that straight line I marked, that's the bust dart line. I'm going to come down by 1 inch, then I'm going to use my ruler to measure 6 inches. So that 6 inches, that is where the bust dart is going to terminate. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect that line. So after connecting the line, the next thing I am going to do is for me to go and take the true waist circumference and then add 2 inches seam allowance to the true waist circumference. Then I will going to use my ruler to connect it. So it is time for me to cut it out. So if you have watched up to this point, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our beautiful tutorials. So it is time for us to impute our darts. I measured 4 inches, and after measuring 4 inches, I went to the shoulder tip. I marked our under bust plus 1 inch seam allowance. So 14.5 plus 1 inch seam allowance gave us 15.5. I terminated the dart at that 15.5 and marked half inch at the downside and used my ruler to connect. So after connecting it, the next thing we are going to do is for us to fold our fabric so that we can cut the back parts. So for us to take the back measurement, what we did was to take the half length of 16.5 and then added 1 inch seam allowance and then marked 1.5 for zipper allowance. After taking the zipper allowance of 1.5, we placed our tape and then took the full back measurement, and then after taking the full back measurement, we took the chest line measurement, and then we took the shoulder slope of 1.5. We took the neck width of 4 inches and then we connected it to the shoulder slant. Then we took the neck depth of 2.5 and connected it to the neck width. The next thing we did was for us to take the bust measurement, but before taking the bust measurement, we added 3/4 to the shoulder in order for us to have our allowance for fixing of the sleeve. Then we connected it. After connecting it, we have to take our bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. So we also went to the true waist circumference and took the true waist circumference measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then we now connected the lines. After connecting the lines, we used our armhole curve to connect the armhole area. We then went to the zipper area and took half an inch off from the zipper allowance, then connected it to the upper part of the zipper side so that we can reduce the any zipper bulge that will occur around that area. So it is time for us to cut the back panel all out. After cutting it, we are going to cut the sleeve. So to cut the sleeve, we have to fold our fabric into 4 and we measured 6 inches. Just the way I placed my tape, we measured 6 inches. After marking the 6 inches, we are going to cut that straight piece. We are cutting 2 of that straight piece. So after cutting that straight piece, we are going to draw gathers on it to form the down part of the sleeve. So it is time for us to cut the bodice of the sleeve. So we have the total length of the sleeve to be 17 inches. So we've cut 6 inches for the gathers, so we are left with 11 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance will give us 12 inches. So we marked 12 inches. After marking 12 inches, we came down by 3 inches at that point and connected it to the tip of that point you are seeing my hand. Then after that, we came to the downside and took the sleeve width of 9 inches and then we connected it to the upper part. Then after connecting, it is time for us to cut it out. So we are done cutting all the parts for the gown. So we are going to work on the sleeve first. So for us to work on the sleeve, the pieces that we cut, which is 6 inches, we are going to draw gathers on it and put it at the down part of the sleeve. And after that, we are going to use elastic at the down part. Then for the upper part, which is the front panel, we are going to cut lining exactly the way the front panel is. And after that, we are going to open it up and then use the lining to turn the neckline. After turning the neckline, we are going to impute our darts for both the lining and both the material. And after that, we'll go and work on the back panel. We'll cut lining for it and also turn the lining on it and impute our dart. So we've turned the necessary linings to the front and the back panel. We've imputed the dart for both the front and the back, including the bust dart, and we've also joined the shoulder. So the next thing we are going to do is for us to fix our sleeve. we've already worked on the sleeve. After joining the sleeve, we are going to fold the downside of the sleeve half an inch and another 3/4 inch and input an elastic of half an inch into it. Then after that, we are going to join our flay to the down part. After joining it, we are going to hem the downside of the gown and then couple it, and then we'll bring it and show you. So we are done with the gown. We'll fix the sleeve, the zipper, we've also joined the downside, we've added lining to it, we've hemmed the gown. It is time for us to put it on the mannequin for you to see. See how beautiful this gown is that we've made together. So if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our beautiful videos. So to convert this gown to a top, check out the video next to this in order for you to learn how you'll be able to achieve that.